Hello and welcome back to the Stuff and Nonsense podcast, where we don't talk about anything, we talk about anything. I'm of course joined by my co-host and a special guest who my co-host, I believe, would like to introduce.
Of course, yeah. So it's me as well. I'm back. It wouldn't be an episode without the two of us. We're the only people who've been here for every single episode, so you better be grateful because, we dedicate a lot of time to this. But we also dedicate a lot of time to finding the best guests we possibly can as well. And we have potentially one of the most legendary guests we've ever had. We've had his good friend Robbie Knox on before, who he's worked with extensively. But Blue Van Man is here, a.k.a. Dave, a.k.a. Blue Van Man, whichever you want to call him. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm all right. How are you, lads?
Not bad at all.
Too bad.
No, not too bad. Obviously, I think a lot of people who are listening will know who Blue Van Man is. But do you want to just kind of give a little introduction into what you do and how you kind of got into YouTube in the first place, just to kick things off, and then we can talk about the topic we're going to be moving on to today.
Yeah, can do. Well, what it is, I've just got a YouTube channel. I wanted a bit of something to do in my life. I needed a bit of a hobby kind of thing, and I decided to do a reviewing channel on YouTube. The wife, she listens to YouTubers all the time, and I thought I could do that. And I didn't actually set out to just review food. I wanted to review things in life. Although food's a main part of the channel, I just wanted to review everyday stuff, give my opinion on things, and that's about it, really. It's just me having fun, just being myself, only in front of camera. What you see on camera is basically what you get in real life. So,
yeah. I think that's
how,
sorry,
yeah. No, that's all right. That's pretty much how I think you can get success pretty much on YouTube, because obviously there's people that are completely different online than they are in real life. But when what you see is what you get, that's pretty much, like, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, that's pretty much how I think.
Yeah. I think if people put on an act when they do this, I think they get found out. I mean, some people have been saying to me just lately, "Oh, you've changed. You're not the same person." I am the same person. I'm just a little bit more confident than I was. I don't know. You grow in confidence in it. Well, I've always been a confident person, and I think you just grow in confidence. So that's just the way it is, really.
Yeah, like I was going to say, I can't see any kind of proper changes apart from, you probably, I think when you do stuff like this for a while, you're going to grow in confidence a little bit. But I think the fact that the videos are so they're so real. They're not like overly edited or anything. You don't have like, they're not, there's nothing fake about them. And people are kind of seeing exactly like what you're doing. You keep little bits in that maybe other YouTubers might cut out kind of thing. But I think that's why people really like it. And obviously, I think like a lot of people, I think I remember coming across you through the True Geordie and Lawrence on obviously his podcast and everything as well. And I'm a huge fan of Happy Hour as well, so I've seen you on there. Who's kind of been, who are your favourite people to work with? Because obviously you worked with Brian and Lawrence before, JaackMaate, Robbie Knox. I've seen obviously you on his channel and vice versa. Who have been like some of your favourite people to work with on YouTube since you started? And did you expect to actually be collaborating with people or not?
Do you know what? When I set up YouTube, I didn't even know what a collaboration was. I didn't have a clue. All it was going to be was just me at a camera and reviewing what I wanted to review that day. I didn't know about collaborations and crossovers and all that kind. I'm 52. You know what I mean? I'm not tuned into this kind of thing. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, I've loved working with Brian. To be fair, I don't even consider it work. This is what I do. Is not work. It's an enjoyment. It's like if you're a Leicester City fan like me, right? To play for Leicester City would not be a job. It's not work. It's what you want to do. And this is the same with what I do on here. This is enjoyment to me. I'm just very fortunate to be in the position of where I am. For working with people, yeah, of course, I like doing things with Brian and Lawrence and Elliot, and JaackMaate phoned me up the other day at 10 o'clock wanting to know if I wanted to go for a McDonald's. You were passing through. So we ended up going to McDonald's in Loughborough, and the bloke says, "What's going on here? Are you doing a collaboration?" And like Jack's going, "No, why?" He says, "Well, I've got JaackMaate and Blue Van Matt and Alfie in a Range Rover sitting outside my window. What's going on?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, that must be a bit mad.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit random, but yeah, and I love working with those players, with those people. Robbie Knox, yeah, it's great. I'm sure if it weren't for lockdown, me and Robbie would have probably done a lot more. But do you know what? Working with the smaller channels, helping the smaller channels. I mean, doing things with Chris the Butcher and Scott and Wander and Ben Bulks and Min's Meals. You know what I mean? I'm very fortunate to be in the situation I am. And if I can help some of the smaller channels come along with me, it's all good. There's a bloke called Lord's Brewing Company, and he does a live on a Friday night. And I'll just pop on there and have a say hello and have a beer with him. And that's what I just consider YouTube is. It's just helping the smaller channels. The bigger channels like Brian and Lawrence and Robbie and JaackMaate, they don't need me. But they do. It is nice to be with them. It's nice to go and work with them. So yeah, helping the smaller channels is great.
Yeah, well, I think that works like that. That just works the whole way through. Like from even because obviously you were growing at a very decent rate beforehand, but then there are pretty much I'd say most YouTubers have had some form of a kind of helping hand from someone who has more subscribers. Even if you look at like. I think TGF always say about how they were growing very rapidly, but then they collaborated with KSI. That then helped them a little bit. Apart from probably KSI, there's not really many UK YouTubers who can say that they haven't had like a bit of help from someone. And I think,
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And like True Geordie's obviously done that. I know JaackMaate does that as well. He's helped kind of push like Robbie's channel out a bit, and also Duty Rhino as well before. And yeah, I think it's such a nice way of doing YouTube. If I had any form of kind of exposure on YouTube or anything like that, I like to think I'd do a kind of similar thing. But yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of what you do is reviewing food, all sorts of different food. I saw you put a Starbucks video out reviewing a few new Starbucks products. I think that was yesterday or the day before maybe. Yeah. So we're going to take takeaways for this one, because I believe we did a fast food episode. I can't remember when that was, and I can't remember anything about it. But I remember. Oh yeah, no, it wasn't that long ago. We we suggested to. I think firstly we can ask. In that episode, Dave, we did a thing where we said out of all the fast food mascots, who would win in like a physical fight. So we went for Ronald McDonald, Colonel Sanders, the King from Burger King, and Little Chef. And we said, like, if there was a tournament between those four, who would win in a physical fight? And what conclusion did we come to?
I think it was the Burger King in the end. I'm not sure why, but
I'm not sure.
He's the king and all that. But
well, yeah, he is
Ronald
the king.
Well,
technically, if he's a king, then he can basically just get anyone killed at will if he's a monarch. Dave, do you have any opinions on that situation?
You know what? I'd probably go with somebody like Colonel Sanders, because he could be like the Mr. Miyagi of fast food. The old boy, wise old head, quick kick in the nuts, and you're down.
It's a fair point.
And he is from the south as well. So.
Was it him who we looked up and he's going to be 5'10"? Or he was 5'10"?
Yeah,
so
I think he is, isn't he?
Same height as me, yeah. So I don't know, probably a little bit stronger than me. But then we also remembered that he is actually dead. So that's one drawback. But we'll pretend that he's alive for the sake of the argument. But Vito, I think you had some sort of segments and stuff to kind of kick off before we get into the real kind of grit of the episode. Because you obviously come up with funny little segments that they're arguably, I'd say, the highlights of some episodes, because they lead the conversation in some ways, don't they?
Well, to be fair, I think they take up a lot of time in the episode, so yeah.
Some episodes have like been basically based around like.
Really.
No, it's still very good.
Yeah, I'll start off with the definition, just so we know we don't sort of like drift into fast food, because I think some fast food nowadays can be considered as takeaway, because it is.
Yeah, bit of a blur. There's some blurred lines in there, isn't there? I'm not talking Robin Thicke. We don't want to talk about Robin Thicke.
No.
Get
away from that. Takeaway is a restaurant or shop selling cooked food to be eaten elsewhere. So, fish and chips, pizza, Chinese,
Indian,
and others. Indian.
You say that though, but a lot of these places you can take out or sit in. So again,
Nando's. Now. Although Nando's isn't really fast. No, we're not talking about fast food takeaways. Never mind.
It's just confusing, isn't it? It's just confusing.
Well, they're all takeaways now, isn't it, at the moment? There's nothing you can do about it. Everything's a takeaway.
That's what, I've actually written that down in my notes, how, like, because of stuff like Uber Eats and Deliveroo, like, everywhere is a takeaway. Even, like, Londis and Co-op, like, you can buy, like, a bottle of cider, and that's technically, that's on an app that does takeaways, and it's like, you can get, literally anything, or, like, any restaurant, pretty much, is a takeaway now.
Subway, but I just want to say, whoever orders Subway via an app is a criminal.
I don't know.
Put it out there.
It's just adding to the obesity of the problem of the world, isn't it? You can't even be arsed to get off your arse to go down to Greg's and pick up 3 sausage rolls. You get some poor lad on a bike and a dustbin on his back.
That's possibly the worst I've ever felt was one time. I think it was. I don't do this anymore because I feel like now if you order from somewhere like Pizza Express or Ask Italian through Deliveroo, when it comes, it's always cold and a bit soggy, so I don't do it anymore. But there was one time when I ordered Pizza Express on Deliveroo, and the second the order went through, it started hammering it down with rain, and it was like the worst rain I've ever seen in my life. And part of me was like, do I call them up and cancel? Because I don't want some guy to have to like cycle from town for like 10 minutes to get 15 minutes to get to my house. And that's like the worst I've ever felt, apart from the time I accidentally killed a ladybird a few weeks ago. But we won't talk about that because I'm still calm about it. I'm still upset about that.
What kind of ladybird was it though? Was it one of these vicious ones that kills other ladybirds?
I think it was just your standard ladybird. And I was trying to save, well, I wasn't trying to save it because it wasn't in danger, but I was trying to like pick it up and put it outside. But literally from like an inch off the ground, it fell off my hand and then just died. And I was like,
it was on the way out anyway.
They can literally fly. They can actually fly. So to be honest, it's not my fault. I'm not
suicide.
I'm not taking any responsibility for it at all. Actually, I changed my mind.
Going back to what you just said, Dave, about before we move on about people with dustbins on their back. That's a good idea for Robbie Knox for a takeaway business to deliver food in wheelie bins or like mini wheelie bins. That'd be a great idea.
That would be
waterproof. So.
No,
Robbie Knox, if you're listening.
He tweeted something about bins, and I replied to it actually. I think it was literally this morning. But that is a good point. But yeah, I do kind of feel sorry for them having to cycle up like massive hit, especially in like areas because there's towns and cities I've been to where like everything's just like everything's on a slant, everything's on a hill, and I just like feel for them in that. Like Worcester's a good example. Everything is uphill or like massively downhill, and just like I'm glad that I don't have that kind of job somewhere like that because I wouldn't really be able to physically deal with it. I'm a lot fitter than I used to be, but still, I just wouldn't want to really put myself through that. What was your segment about? Was it a weird segment like we always have? Because they're the best segments. You can't get better.
I'll start with the weird one. Yeah, we've got
we like weirdness.
The world's weirdest takeaways. Let's start with I think it's China. The Windows 7 Whopper.
Windows 7.
Yeah.
So, what, it's like a Microsoft burger? How does that work? What is it?
It's got 7 slabs of beef in. It's just a Whopper with 7 meat patties.
How is it any way linked to Windows? Is it just not? Is it just the fact that it has 7 patties in it, but it's not? Is it sponsored by like Microsoft or something? Where was that from? Burger King?
Yeah, Burger King. I don't know what correlates it to Windows, but I think it's just because it's got 7 beef burgers in.
Fair enough. That's pretty weird.
That sounds like a British McDonald's idea, doesn't it? We don't know what to do, so we'll just chuck an extra patty on.
Yeah, so it kind of does.
I don't think I could eat that. I think it would definitely break my jaw.
I can't. This is kind of like this episode's kind of slightly redundant for me, like the fast food one, because I like eating stuff that's really greasy now just makes me feel sick. Like I can't do it. Like even if I want to go to like a chip shop or something, after like 5 or 10 chips or something, I'm like firstly I feel guilty. Secondly, I just feel like ill because I feel like it's not doing me any good, which is true. But yeah, you got to be able to treat yourself though as well at the same time.
Now, why do you feel guilty over eating 10 chips?
I don't know. 10 chips is like not really a lot, and I do get told off by my girlfriend and everything for being too healthy. She balances me out quite well because she is just kind of not unhealthy in any way, but like she'll just kind of, if she wants to eat something, she'll eat it. And we just balance each other out very well in that sense, I think. So yeah, I'm trying not to go too extreme with healthy eating because yeah, you need a nice balance to stay kind of happy and to be able to enjoy your food, I think.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like when I've not stopped eating, but if I know I'm going to review something later on in the day, I won't eat anything during the morning because you end up having a breakfast, then you end up going and having a meal, and it's like I'm just eating, and it's not very good for you, is it?
No.
I've always wondered that with like because I've seen I can't think of any names actually apart from yours. But I've watched a few people who do, a fair amount of food reviews and stuff. And it's the same with like TV chefs and people like that who, the like ones who will cook in their own home. People like Nigel Slater or like even like Nigella Lawson, people like that. And I just think, how much food are they actually eating kind of like on a weekly basis? And because more often than not, it's not necessarily the healthiest food, is it, that food reviewers in general are going for? Because it will. I don't know.
Have you heard of a guy called Matt Stoney?
No.
Oh. The name.
Basically,
it's a familiar name.
He does like food challenge videos, and yesterday I saw him eat. I was watching a video of his yesterday, and it was 50 bags of popcorn, and he managed all of it.
There's like LA Beast as well.
Bottomless stomach. Yeah.
Remember LA Beast?
Yeah, I've heard of LA Beast. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
it's just like beard meat food, isn't it? I mean, that guy is just amazing beard meat food.
yeah.
Because the amount he can put away is just unreal. And there's nothing on him. There's absolutely nothing on it. I sent a message to the dad. You must have 4 stomachs like a cow or something, so you can cram it all in.
I don't understand people like that.
Oh, really? It could be the genetics. There's no way anyone can normally like shove that much food in their body. I mean, I don't even know if you can train for it. I think you just have to be able to do it.
I think some people are just more cut out for it than other people, I guess, like physically and in terms of like how tolerant they are to food and stuff. Because even like the amount of dairy that they eat would like ruin me. Like I wouldn't be able to, because I'm not great with dairy as it is. So yeah, I think that would absolutely destroy me if anything. But I would absolutely never be able to do any food challenges or anything like that. I just wouldn't be able to put myself through it physically. And I don't think my body would let me, to be honest.
No, people say to me, "Oh, do this challenge, do that challenge." And I'm thinking, to be fair, challenges aren't my thing. You know what I mean? I'm not into eating like a table full of food. It's just, it just doesn't seem. Don't get me wrong. I'll take my hat off to Beard Meats Food and that, but I just cannot see the point. He's entertaining with it, but to just watch somebody eat like so much food, you've got to be able to carry it off, and he can do it. But I just don't understand the point in it. Really, it's like these people who eat the hottest curry. Why do you want to hurt your body like that?
Yeah, there was all the like, well, there's been obviously like the mukbang kind of trend and everything on YouTube. And then before that, there was all the like hottest chili kind of like challenges and stuff that everyone seemed to do. Like everyone wanted to get like hotter chilies than everyone else did. And then there's been the cinnamon challenge. There's been all sorts. There's been like people swallowing like the Frankfurters whole. That seems to have been a thing before. But yeah, I just can't. I just don't understand why people would want to do that to themselves. To be honest, Vito, do you have any?
I had a.
Oh yeah.
Is it the Fahal? I did the Fahal and I've done the one chip challenge. But people just seem to do it all the while. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I just even like in the long run, I don't understand how that can do you any good. Like, how long are you going to really take to that? That's going to do like permanent damage if you stick with it for like a fair amount of time, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's just for content.
Yeah, everything's just for content, isn't it? But I think that's what people like about you, Dave, is the fact that you just do what you want to do. Like, you don't strike me as someone who would change their content to, you know, get more views, get more subscribers, that kind of thing. Because I think if you do what you enjoy and you can attract an audience to it, then that's another good way of attracting more people, because people will see that you're really enjoying what they do. It'll make the content better anyway. I don't think you need to kind of, you don't really need to kind of jump on every single trend that there is.
I know what you mean, mate. It's if you take, I don't want to be told what to do. People can give me constructive criticism, and I'll take it on board. You know, I mean, if Elliot says, Dave, I don't think you should be doing that, do it like this. Well, you know, Elliot's my manager, and whatever he says, in theory, goes, because he's looking after me. You know what I mean? You know, so that's fair enough. But I have got plans for the channel in the future. I'm not taking it drastically out of the way, but we have got plans that are going to come up in the next few months, hopefully. So there will be a slight change, but not a massive change. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. As long as it's something that you feel is going to benefit your channel, then then I mean, I don't think anyone can have any kind of issue with that. And
just I'll still carry on doing what I'm doing. It's just that I consider my channel a little bit. I consider my channel a bit like Channel 4 or Channel 5. I'll cover many basics. I don't want to be just a bloke who sits down and eats food. I want to do me for pop's sake. I want to do drinking beer. I want to do pops. I reviewed the Gallagher's album, and I just want to do different things. I don't want to be. I think if you then get tied into one thing, you can't get out of it. Where I've never been in it.
As a specific category. Yeah, I think the fact that you enjoy what you do, it really comes across in the videos as well. You can sort of tell that you enjoy it. Otherwise, probably wouldn't be uploading so regularly. I mean, it kind of happens with people when they do the same thing for ages. They kind of fall out of love with it and stop doing things altogether because they think like, oh, I have to do this, not I want to, really.
Yeah. And I don't ever want to be in that situation where I've got to do it. I've got to do this. I've got to do it. I won't be bullied into that. To be fair, I won't be told what to do and made to do it. I'll just do what I want to do when I want to do it, and that's it. So,
yeah, I think that's fair enough. Dave, so in terms of takeaways, what are your kind of go-to takeaways? Because everyone has their favourites, but obviously I feel like you've kind of gone into a slightly deeper analysis of more than most people have. And you probably know a little bit more. You've probably tried a bit of everything. What do you think, like, in terms of actual quality, if people want quality, good value for money, that kind of thing, both very important when it comes to a takeaway, I'd say. What would your kind of favourite be? What would be kind of number one for you?
Well, I mean, I've been now COVID's not finished, but now restrictions are being lifted. I can actually go out, and now I'm no longer at work. I can now start to do what I wanted to do. And there's so many good little places out there. These burger places, I mean, I went to Fat Buns, the Fat Hippo in Nottingham, Plan Burrito in Loughborough. You know, they're all good quality places. I honestly don't know, to be fair. There's such a wide variety. I love Mexican, I love Indian food, I love Chinese food, I love fish and chips, I love a good kebab. It's a bit hard to say which is. It's like when I go out for a pint with a wife. I'll walk into a pub, I can either have a Guinness, I can have a lager, I can have an expensive lager, I can have a cheap lager, I can have a bitter. I just walk in and it's like what gets me at the time. So yeah, it's a bit hard to say, really.
No, I get that.
Have an expensive sort of palate, you know, you can pretty much enjoy anything really. And fun fact, did you know that burrito means little donkey? I just read that not long ago.
Little donkey.
Burrito, little donkey, yeah.
Yeah.
So Mary wrote a Plan Burrito, did she?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
That's actually a very good point.
They probably say that in Spain.
Potentially. Why do I feel like the word burrito has, like, someone has talked to me about burritos in the last couple of days? I don't know why either of you two would know, but I feel like the word burrito has been, like, it on my mind over the past couple of days. Don't know why. Might have been because I was in Grand Central in Birmingham, and there's some places there that do burritos. Because I had to cover for work in Birmingham yesterday. No one cares. But Vito, do you have any more kind of like weird takeaways, or do you want to move on to a different segment? It's completely up to you.
I'll just do one more from the weird ones. We've got wasp crackers.
Sorry?
Wasp crackers. I don't really know what more to say for that. I mean, like, really?
Do they have wasps in them?
They do have wasps in them.
What?
I don't even know where this is from. Japan. Of course it's Japan. I don't want to like.
Yeah.
But
nah, it had to be.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it kind of had to be. It had to be Japan, I suppose, didn't it? But yeah, wasp. Is there a picture?
Is it wasabi? Is it wasabi?
Oh yeah. Wasabi's not nice at all. I've had a wasabi. Wasabi.
Is it like horseradish or something that's quite strong in taste, like a mustard?
It is a bit, yeah. Like I had a wasabi Kit Kat before. Apparently they do them in Japan, and someone that my mum knows brought some back from Japan. And it's, yeah, absolutely dreadful. Why ruin a Kit Kat like that? The Kit Kat's a solid piece of confectionery, and they have a very nice kind of array of different varieties of Kit Kat. Why put wasabi in it and ruin it?
I think it's just because they can.
No idea.
I think, well, I mean, Japanese people, maybe they're more kind of used to that in their diet, that kind of thing. But to me, it was just, no, I don't understand. It's something that's not edible, basically, I don't think. It's just an opinion.
Right.
Just an opinion. Just an opinion.
Wasp crackers is in the opposite of a bee.
Is a wasp the opposite of a bee?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of actually accurate in a way. It kind of is. I mean, I don't know.
I think they're like enemies.
They're kind of like
in a fight between a wasp and a bee.
They're kind of cousins. Maybe. Are they cousins?
Yeah.
Maybe they might. They might be. I don't know.
Well, mind you, you're not supposed to kill a wasp now, are you? Because it pollinates as well, apparently. Because we're losing bees, and wasps do the same.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. I don't know. Do we have anything to quickly move on to? I'm aware of the time. The time is really annoying. That's one drawback of Zoom. But I think we've covered an awful lot, and we've had a really good conversation. But
yeah, it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been good. What have we got? Anything
exciting?
exciting?
Did you know that the word pizza is over 1,000 years old?
Really?
Yeah. It's recorded in text in southern Italy as far back as the year 997 AD.
That's pretty cool.
But pizzas have only been sold by the slice since 1933 in New York.
Oh, so that's when individual slices started being sold.
Yeah.
And now you can get
like bread.
You can get them in Greg's. You can get them in Greg's now. I don't think it's of authentic quality though. The Greg's pizza slices, no. But they're okay. They're all right.
Yeah, they're okay. They're a quick fill, which is what Greg's is about, really, isn't it? You're walking by, you pop in, you buy 3 sausage rolls, a pizza, and a cake. And and the soups, mind you, the soups are good in Greg's, isn't they? I quite like the soup. June likes the soup in Greg's.
I've never had the soup, but yeah, it might be worth a try one.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. But
yeah, the soup's all right. She likes the soup, so.
Fair. I don't know when I'm ever in the mood for soup, but I might have to try it.
I'm in the mood for Greg's. I'm in the mood for Greg's a lot less than I ever have been before, really. But
you know they actually sell like frozen Greg's in Iceland. If you go into an Iceland, they have like a Greg's range.
I've been into the there's an Iceland inside. I think it's inside the range in Coventry, and I've had a look. They've got them all there. I was very excited. Not bought any though, but quite exciting.
I don't really see the point there. If you want a Greg's, just go to Greg's.
I kind of get it. Sometimes though, you want you wish you want a quick Greg's at home, don't you? Who knows? Maybe you do. Maybe you do.
Well, normally what we used to do is get a tomato soup from Greg's with a sausage roll, dip it in it. Great, you'll love it.
Fair enough. That sounds worth a shout. Definitely have to give it a go at some point. We'll do it on an episode. We'll do it live on an episode. We'll have a soup and a sausage roll. Just a little bit of a taste test.
It's like a soup and sausage roll mukbang, like a mini mukbang.
Just like an entire table of soups and sausage rolls and just dunk it. Actually, might be an idea. You know, maybe we'll extend the YouTube channel into mukbangs now. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. We got one more little thing and then we can close off.
Yes. Let me just find something really brilliant. I love finding brilliant things, but it's really hard to. It's widely accepted that fish and chips started to be served together in the UK in 1860, despite fried fish batter arriving in the early 17th century. It took nearly 200 years for someone to figure out that fish and chips could be put together.
That's mad. I thought it would be a lot older than that, to be honest. I actually thought it would probably be a lot older.
I didn't quite hear that. They were breaking up a bit.
Basically, fish and chips started to be served together in 1860, but it basically, muddling my words up, it took 200 years for fish and chips to be served together.
So yeah, they tend to take an absolute long time. Like, that's a long time. I would have thought fish and chips has been around for like way longer than that. But I mean, yeah, they've done well. They've done well with it.
Yeah, I heard it was something Jewish brought over with. Apparently, the Jewish people didn't invent it, did they? They didn't like stick a flag in the plate and say we've invented this, but it was a big Jewish thing, apparently.
Yeah, it does say that European Jews stuff in the UK brought the food together, and yeah.
I know my shit.
There we go.
You do, yeah.
He knows absolutely everything about food, and I think we're going to have to close the episode there because we have a stupid time limit on Zoom, which I really don't like. It's another thing we don't like. We were talking earlier about how we don't like Zoom. It was mainly just me ranting about it, to be honest. But I think the last thing really... Yeah, of course. You kind of have to, don't you? We've just got to say a big thank you to Dave. Obviously, he doesn't need any help from us, as we say with a lot of the episodes that we do. But we are just in case you haven't come across his content before, then obviously we'll put a link down below. But I'm guessing all of you have heard of him and know what he does. But yeah, cheers, Dave, for coming on.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Oh, that's really good.
Thank you very much.
Vito, do you have anything left to say? You got less than a minute. Go.
My favourite takeaway is the Chinese.
Thanks for that. Goodbye.
Bye.